Hi, welcome back to my channel. I hope you've been good. I hope all has been well with you. Clearly we've been great. We're on vacation, right?
Yeah.
But I hope the week has been great and the weekend, and now you're just gearing up to, finish off your week. Well, this is about Tuesday now, so yeah, when you'll be seeing this video, right? This is a how we met video, his version. Why is it his version? Because I feel like I'm always the one telling this story. I'm the talkative one in this relationship. He's the quiet one. So I said, let him tell his story, give his perspective. Right, babe?
Sounds good. Yep.
All right, let's get into it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment right now. Subscribe now if you haven't subscribed, okay? So I'll be like moderating, so to speak.
Yeah.
So babe, just give them some background about the both of us.
Well, yes. So we were both born in Kingston. Funny enough, different hospitals though. Same year, a couple months apart, and then our parents both reside in St. Catherine, but completely different part of the parish. So she was in the Portmore area, which is the more urban area, and then I grew up more in the rural parts, in the rural area of Old Harbour. Well, way outside of Old Harbour, so not even in the town of Old Harbour, a couple miles out. So yeah, but then we went to separate high schools. Of course, she went to Wolmer's, then I went to Glenmuir, and then in 2008 we both graduated from high school, and then I had to move to Portmore to live with my aunt just to be closer to campus, easier commute, and that's how we kind of crossed paths, because she lived in the same area of Greater Portmore there, and then we would have taken the same bus to go to school, and I think that's how our path eventually crossed for the first time.
Yeah. All right. So we were friends. Just traveling on the bus, you get to know everybody.
Right.
So everybody on the bus know each other. The bus driver, everybody who live in Greater Portmore are along that route. Fine. What stood out to you for the first time that we're really connected?
Just how kind of straightforward and to the point she was. I'm generally more of a laid back person, doesn't say much, but she was kind of like very vocal, like if the bus is leaving somebody, or or if the bus is late or anything, she would just say what is on her mind, but I'll just kind of sit there and just kind of wait. And
you remember that time when the bus was leaving Maryland?
Yes. And she go on very bad. So you're like, wait for him.
Yeah, I'm like,
usual passenger is there. We could probably see him.
He's walking, come up the road, and the driver wants to leave, and I'm like, no, you're not leaving. I'm gonna cut off the driver. So in me cursing off the driver, he felt offended, and then he stopped because he felt offended, and he's like, I'm not gonna drive no more. And then Marlon come on the bus, and I'm like, you need to drive now. Hilarious.
So yeah, so that's probably was the kind of the first thing. I'm like, wow, this girl is very vocal, loud,
Chatting off.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. How did you end up like coming into my family's life?
So I don't know how it happened, but actually I think.
Or how did we ended up coming into each other's lives like that on a family level? Because
I don't know how
the first part of the relationship,
both of us were the same denomination. I was going to a different church.
Right.
Same denomination, but a different church, and the churches were close, maybe like 3 miles apart, actually, thereabout. But somehow we figured out we share the same faith, and then I was studying in the bus on a Friday night. I think it was a Friday night, which makes it the beginning of Sabbath. And then she was like, why are you studying on the Sabbath? You're not supposed to do that. I mean, I didn't really grow up in a very strict Adventist home, so I didn't know a lot of the stuff like that. So I was reading my maybe histology, anatomy book. This was like maybe first year in medical school, probably anatomy, to be honest with you. So I was there reading my book, and she was like, you're not supposed to be reading and on the Sabbath, etc., etc. And I was like, what? Why are you talking about? And it was kind of a public situation, kind of embarrassing. I'm like, why is she calling me out in front of all these people? So I was like, man. And then I think that same day, probably invited me to come over for the next day.
I think what happened was you were studying, and I asked you what you're gonna do after. Because it wasn't Sabbath yet. We were on the bus, it was coming towards Sabbath, and you say, I'm gonna go home and study.
Okay.
And I'm like, what? No, you can't go and go study on Sabbath. And then I started to pray. And I'm like, who do you live with? Are these people Adventists? And then when I found out they weren't Adventists, I'm like, you know what? it was clear to me at that point that he didn't know how necessarily to keep the Sabbath, right? Some say I invited him over to my house. Now that was for Vespers and like for Sabbath. I'm like, come and spend Sabbath with us, so you can see how it goes, right? Now that wasn't strange to me because I had friends before that would always come for Sabbath lunch and stuff like that and come over my house. So it wasn't a strange thing. Like my parents would be like, oh my gosh, you invite people. Yeah. So that wasn't a problem for us, right? All right. So you can give them a little more. So now you start coming to my house for, I told my parents, of course, and they're like, oh yeah, cool.
They were very open, accepting of me coming over. So yeah, it was nice. Came there, and it became a traditional thing until it became something that I was doing not only on the Sabbath, but like I would go there
in the week.
They will make food or whatever and invite me over, so I'll go for that. So and we kind of chill for a bit, and then we used to go to church together. So sometimes I don't know if we started to go to church together yet. Like, would I come to your church and you come to my church? Or not yet. Not yet.
When we were just friends, we used to. Okay, so the thing is, even
or maybe on special days.
Right. So that's what I wanted to say. We were all. I always. So he went to Brayton yesterday. I went to Portmore yesterday. You have to pass Brayton to go to Portmore, right?
From where we live.
From where we live, right? Because you're coming the other direction. But I always had friends that went to Brayton.
Right.
You never really have no friend who go Portmore.
No.
But Brayton always had those big music days and stuff
Lots
like
of
that.
Young people.
Enough young people. So whenever, because I was, he was added to my friends list basically, and I had my other friend, them Tiffany and everybody, and Dawn and whatever. So we would, and most of them went to Brayton. So whichever music day or whatever, we'd go. And if I had a day, they'd come. So it became a thing, right? Yeah. People would see him
and think we're relatives.
Yeah, and think he's my brother. Like, they'd not see my brother for a while and they'd be like, oh, Brian, get big here and get so tall. And I'm like, no, this is not my brother. So that's how close we became. That's really how close we became. Even with Adrian, when Adrian used to come over, you were always there for all of that. Yeah. The funny part about it is when we were friends at this point, I was always setting him up on people.
So at that time we were dating separately. She was dating her people. I was dating, and I don't really have much of a dating game, so to speak. So she used to help me to kind of set me up with people and stuff like that. So that's how we didn't even see each other as potential couple, or
I saw you as my brother.
Yeah.
I saw you as my brother. I remember that. I remember one time we went on a family vacation and we brought you with us, right?
Yes.
And we had 2 rooms. So my parents were in one room. You, myself, and my brother were in another room. And we were just literally brother and sisters. Yeah.
You could put those pictures in.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know where that is, but yeah, I can try and put those pictures in. That also, what happened on that trip was a whole other story time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, and we were just.
So this was about 2008, 2009, and then the situation with my bag happened, which you will hear about at some point. My school bag.
Yeah, in 2009, 2010 maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Late 2009, early 2010.
Yes. And then we just continued to be very good friends until, I guess we made it official when it was 2010.
Late 2010.
December 18th.
Yeah, the 18th of December.
That's when we actually started dating. So this is like 2 years after we initially
knew each other. So what changed?
I think it was more for what changed for you than me, because I think I started to develop feelings for you before you started developing feelings for me, because just like out of the situation with the bag and all those little events.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, maybe I like this guy, but I didn't want to say anything about it or do anything about it, because you probably would have said that to me. That
I publicly said. So this is not it. We had a group called The Village, all females basically. You were the only male, or maybe one other person.
Yeah.
Right.
Probably. I know Stephen came in at that time, but maybe that was late after.
No, I think you were the only male in that group when we meet or whatever.
Initially, yeah.
And all the females were like, oh my gosh, Sean is such a catch. And I was even trying to set him up on one of them. One of our friends. And at the time. And they were like, what I remember one person's like, Sean is the person that my mom would definitely want me to get married to. And I'm like, Sean, I'm a brother though. Like, I don't see him like that. So I think that kind of...
I was a nerd, which you didn't really like.
I wasn't into nerds at the time. But God. And I don't know. So for me, what had happened was I was talking to this guy and just not gonna wear, like, you know, in my opinion, I believed relationships were supposed to be pointing to marriage. So if you didn't want to get married, if that was not a goal of yours, we're wasting our time.
Right.
Relationships end in two ways, breakup or marriages, that's what I believe. And if it's not marriage, then it's gonna be breakup. So if you're not thinking about getting married, I'm wasting my time, let me go. So anyways, I must have did go look for the guy. It was his birthday and I brought him a gift or whatever. Of course, woman there in the yard. So I'm like, you know what? This is not working out. And then I went to God and I'm like, what am I doing here? That's wrong. And I remember I'd watched Why Did I Get Married?
All that time. Yeah.
That was when that came out. And in that movie, they had a list of things that you love about the person and things that you don't like. So what I did, I turned it around. And I'm like, what are the things that I want in a man that are non-negotiables and the things that I want that I'd like, right? And when I wrote the list, literally, that was Sean. Like, I look at the list, I'm reading through, I'm like, who do I know with these qualities and whatever. And that was Sean. And I'm like, my God have mercy. And immediately, because I believe, going in God's will, and I asked him, and he directed me in that path. We were having prayer and fasting. I don't know if you remember this.
Of course, it was kind of like
all
night.
Yeah. At his church. And all our friends came.
Was it the end of the year kind of thing?
I'm not sure.
It probably was.
Yeah.
It was December.
Right. Or November. Thereabouts. And I had realized, I don't feel like it was end of the year because there was some time I had lapsed. It was like maybe October, November.
Oh, okay.
Fine. And I realized I liked him. And then my feelings started to grow because I'm really starting to see him now in this light. And then I would tell our friends that I like you. And I'd kind of throw hints. I remember I told Angelique.
Angelique, yes, I remember. Yeah.
And she did ask you?
Yeah.
Angelique did ask you? Right. And Angelique
and I went to the same school. High school, so she knew me very well.
Right. And Angelique and I were good friends. Yeah. So I'd spoken to other people, not just Angelique. But Angelique had gone to him. I think I was just planting the seed. And I think Angelique came back and said, you said, but Sase doesn't like me.
Right. So that's what I know. So I'm like,
yeah, where are you coming from with this? And then because I'm a bold person, I just went to him. I eventually just went. No. So we had the prayer and fasting and I wrote it down on the list. Like, Lord, if you're supposed to let this be, let it happen. You know, let the feelings be mutual and all of that. And I prayed and I fasted that night at church. And I just got the courage to come to you after that. And I came to you and your feelings were mutual. And you're like, yeah, I've always liked you, but whatever. You said blah, blah, blah. And then we got that out of the way. And then that's how we started our relationship, basically.
Yeah.
All right? So we met at UE. And then we were friends. And then our friendship grew into a relationship now. Yeah.
Yep. And it was a very easy transition because we kind of knew a lot about each other. And our parents already know.
Mentioning parents, going into that one.
What part of that one?
Daddy, my father.
Oh yeah. So yeah, he liked me and he really wanted.
So I was actually dating an Adventist at this time.
Yes.
So it wasn't like I kept dating people who were worldly.
Right.
And my father came to me and was like, you know, sister, that boy there and it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he said, you know, sister, she don't like you. And I didn't see that. My father he said he saw it, that he liked me. And he said, you know, sister, she don't want to go home at night time, and she don't want to stay here and try and, you know, spend as much time with you as possible. And And I'm like, I really genuinely didn't see that. But my father, this is before I went to God about it or before it was revealed to me. But my father saw it.
Yeah, he's very observant of those things.
Yeah. Him love mix up, essentially. But he was the main instigator. And to this day, he believes it's him. He's the reason why we are together. But he was one of the persons who was like, yeah man, Sean likes you. So that also started that. So you see good godly parents who can like drive you in and it's not that the other guy was an Adventist, it was just that daddy was like, that's not the that's not a match, you know, and Sean gets along well with our family and stuff like that. So yeah. But something I wanted to say, I remember when we started talking and I was like, I wanted to meet your mother. And we went because I had a very traumatic experience with my grandmother and mother, which is my mother's mother-in-law. And I said I'd never get, funny enough, the Adventist guy that I was talking to, his mother never liked me either. So that was a thing that was like, nope for me. No, I was not doing that. I'm not doing the mother-in-law drama, right? And then I said I'd meet his mother. We went. We did go. We went to, and she did cook for me.
Okay.
It's the first time I have ton cornmeal. It was so good.
Oh yeah, no, I remember.
You remember it? Yeah.
That was good. Yeah.
She cooked ton cornmeal and whatever. She heard about me and everything, but we never really met before this time.
Right.
And we went and she cooked for us and down by Old Harbor, and it was just a good time. And she's a very sweet lady. Too sweet, in my opinion. She's one of those people who does too sweet, you know? Not in a bad way, but she's just sweet and accepting and whatever. I'm gonna say, this can work. You know, I saw that his side of the family was good, my side of the family, and then I even went and did meet your family down in country, and everybody was chill, and I'm like, yeah, this can work. Of course, no, you're not gonna have it perfect where everybody mesh, but for the most part, we're not a problem.
Nope.
Our families went well, and we're fine, and that was a very important part for me of the dating process, because I was like, I don't only marry you, marry the family, and it's important for you too. You know, you come, you need to know the family, and you marry the family, and yeah. So another part of this, right?
More parts?
Yes.
What?
How did we, like, long distance?
Oh.
So we were dating for how long until we became long distance? 3 years.
3 years, because you left in 2013.
Yes, I left in 2013.
So we were pretty, I guess to say, established in the relationship around that time.
So I've always said I never want to be in a long distance relationship. I've dated people, and because them are go foreign, I'm like, this is gonna end, because I've never wanted to be in a long distance relationship. But here I am in a long distance marriage. How did that happen now?
Long distance marriage?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it started out with a long distance relationship.
So yeah.
You left in 2013. You know, we're still dating. I was still finishing up medical school. And then
you had one more year to go.
Yeah, 1 more year to go. Then you came back a couple of times, you know, for summer or whatever.
I came back almost every year.
Yeah. So whenever you'd come back, we'll meet up. And then eventually I graduated from medical school, started my internship. And then 2014.
When I came back in 2014. I went away 2013, came back 2014. It was after first year.
It was difficult with the long distance, but I think because we were dating for so long and we knew each other for so long, it worked as best as it could, you know.
Right.
Obviously, long distance is not ideal.
I do not recommend long distance for anybody. No, it's something I don't recommend. It's very hard. Yeah. It's so far from the ideal. I'm not gonna be like, oh, we're doing it, so you should do it too. No, fam. I think we do it well because of the support that we have.
Yeah.
From both sides of the family. Your mother comes often. My parents are there. So we can do it because of that support. But trust me, not because we're doing it. I'm like, I don't recommend it. Yeah. But in 2014, because I had went away for the year, I think Sean was like, "Why I don't want to lose this woman, you know?" And then we got engaged in 2014, right? And then we did the long distance thing until 2017, when we were like, we want to get married. When I came back 2016, we decided.
Because I left the country.
Right. So every year I go back, I go to Xi'an, right? I go and I see him.
But this year I left.
But then 2016 you left and you went to Grenada that time. And that's when I realized I'm not. It's like as I came, and as I came, you left like 2 days after or something like that.
Very close.
Yeah. I came and you left like 2 days after, and I'm realizing I'm not going to get to see you. And we're Adventists and we uphold certain values. We don't want to. Me not married and me I go Grenada to man and all sorts of something.
Right.
You know, my mother was like, it's my mother that said it. My mother said, why don't you guys just get married now? You guys have been together at this point for 6 years. And my mother is like, and you've been engaged for 2. So she's like, get married. So then we went
I guess
on
we were
that path.
thinking about marriage at the perfect time, but I mean,
The perfect time was
I know
after.
it still would no, but if we're waiting for us to be together in the same country,
We'd still
we'd
not get
be-
married. Yeah, that's
because
true.
We're still not even living in the same.
Right, we're still not living in the same
So
country.
that's the perfect time.
Right.
Or
So
the best time.
the best time for us. So yeah, so we decided. So he went to Grenada, started his tutoring thing over there, and studying and stuff. Then I went back to Ukraine that year, and we kept planning our wedding back and forth.
That
and
was
all of
difficult.
That was difficult. We really.
Because none of us was in Jamaica.
None of us were in Jamaica, but we had the best, Davia Johnson. We had the best person ever. Oh my gosh, the best wedding planner. She's a friend of ours. Just the best, yeah. There's nothing else I can say.
It was very helpful
And
to have somebody on the ground.
she was on the ground. She was our wedding planner and just our friend. And I think, because she's my friend, I can't speak about her just as her job. But I know she's bomb at her job because she did it for me. But she went the extra mile and she did everything for us. We literally came back to Jamaica and everything was in place.
And that was
Came
nice.
back to Jamaica and everything was in place. I feel like we underpaid her for that. Trust me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What she do, don't worry, I look back, so she planned everything and called everybody and like that's
True.
crazy.
It was a steal, I guess.
It was a steal, and I think it's because we were friends with her. But Davia, big up.
Definitely.
Even she and her husband relationship, that's a story time that we need to tell. Yeah. What else? Right. So we both came to Jamaica, got married here.
Then
We left and we went on our honeymoon. How was that?
That was good. It was a cruise.
Yeah, we went on a cruise. That was
the
both our
time
first
for
cruise.
both of us,
Yeah.
So that was nice.
Thank God we did that before COVID.
Yeah.
Before.
It was a lot different back then, so it was nice, and we had a great time. And then
Yeah.
after that, we went to spend some time in Florida. Then
Yeah.
we went back to Grenada.
Grenada, yes. Went back to Grenada and spent the rest of my time there. That was where I got pregnant. Where I found out. Let me not say
Found
that.
out,
That's where
yeah.
I found out that I had gotten pregnant.
Yeah.
No, what we had done when we got married, we were gonna take the flight the next day. You remember that?
Yes.
So what we did, we just went back to the hotel where we got dressed. I think it was a Corley hotel, not Corley wedding. Get dressed. Don't remember.
One of those on the Knoxford.
One of those right on Knoxford, not Pegasus. So the one beside
Yeah.
Pegasus, right? And we went there. We had gotten dressed there and took pictures there. We try and put up those, and or show some of those. And we went back there, and we just left and went on the plane early in the morning because it was early morning actually. We never
It was
sleep
very
good.
early
It was like 3 o'clock or something like that.
It was like the first flight.
Yeah, we were serious about getting this vacation in. Not only that, we had a ship to catch.
Exactly.
So you were on a schedule, but we went and we caught the ship. This was the first time I found out that Shian had such good direction. Because you were just maneuvering us. We had to catch a taxi and all that. We went to Miami and stuff. Went on the cruise. The cruise was so good. I still remember the cruise.
Yeah.
Like it was
nice.
so good. Then we went to Florida, stayed with Shian's family. The first time I was meeting that side of your family. Then we went to Grenada, and Grenada holds a special place in my heart. Grenada is just, it's the first Caribbean island I've been to outside of Jamaica. And I never know say, because we used to the war and the violence here, like I just never knew that you could have such peaceful times.
Yeah, it was nice.
I remember when I went one time to do my nails there and I was late. I don't know if you remember that. It was a Friday. no, it wasn't a Friday because it wasn't Sabbath. It was like a Thursday night or something. And I was coming home. I had no phone or anything. And when I come home, she was so chill, like, oh, I wasn't even trying to call you because I know you're fine. Like, you walk on the road late at night, early morning, people are jog, nobody now bother them. I'm not saying you don't have the 1 or 2 robbery or whatever. I remember when I asked the policeman and he said we had 9 murders for the whole entire year. And he's like, this is the worst year I've seen. And we're like, what? Granted, Grenada is small. But, and their population is smaller. But I'm like, what? And the police don't carry guns.
Yeah, that was something.
They had like
strange.
they have baton and spray paint or something. What do you call that?
Pepper spray.
Pepper spray. And I'm like,
yeah, it's pretty peaceful. It was a very chill.
Pretty peaceful. It's like him say if him have a criminal him hold him by him with and walk with it. And I'm like,
and everybody knows everybody.
And
so like,
everybody knows everybody.
It's so difficult to do anything bad because it's like. He's like,
who that? Yeah. But Grenada was such an experience, just calm and just peaceful, lovely place. What I loved about Grenada though, so this was a part of our honeymoon, clearly, right? She was working and all, but this was a part of our honeymoon. What I loved about Grenada was the food. You know, Jamaica, you have a cook shop. Where you can get at the cook shop in Jamaica?
You can get rice and peas for sure every single day, every single hour.
Right.
Chicken.
That's it.
And you
maybe you get some beef
cabbage,
or a curry goat or something.
Cabbage, and the classic cabbage and carrot.
Right.
Coleslaw that everybody has.
You see Grenada? You get split peas too. You get macaroni and cheese. You get what them call the cornmeal? Cornmeal?
Yeah, I'm telling you, like fufu.
No, no fufu.
They have a name.
They have a name for it.
Cuckoo. Yeah. Cuckoo.
Like you get a lot of bean stew, lentil stew.
Very
chicken
healthy.
is there, you know.
You didn't have to eat chicken.
You don't have to get rice either.
Yeah.
Because they have so many sides, them fresh vegetable steam. And I'm like, these people though, like, this is cook shop. You hear me say? This is not like big establishment. You have the big establishment, them like, what I want to name, we used to go down another town.
Umbrellas and
Not umbrellas, the one in the town we always go.
Oh, I think they closed that place down now.
Really?
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember.
Right by the beach, where when you sit down outside and you see the sea.
Yeah, downtown.
Yeah,
I know.
One big old place. We can't remember. Annie's or something like I said.
Andels.
Andels. But that place was big. But I remember there was a place that was small, and it was like near
the
roundabout.
Yeah,
and that place now is more of a cook shop place.
Shop, yeah.
And you could get
the same
variety of food, and I'm like, wow, you know, they really take their variety serious. And you know what we say out of anyone? Yeah, but when we go there, I say Muslim, like in niqab. I've never seen a Muslim in niqab here in Jamaica. Me never see it. Yeah. I saw Russians because I remember hearing the Russian, and I'm like, wow, Russians are here.
And what does that have to do with?
So they have a good diversity of people, and because of that, the meals are diverse too. But yeah, Grenada was a great part of our honeymoon phase and stuff like that. Then I went back to school, and so this is where our long distance marriage really began.
Right.
I gone back to school 2017 this now, sorry. The miscarriage happened then. But I'd come back every year.
Yep, because after you left that summer, you came back December, January.
Yeah, to Grenada.
Same year, yeah. Because that's after the miscarriage you came back.
Right.
And then, yeah, I don't know if you came back again after that, maybe one more time.
Yeah, man, but he come back. No, you'd gone by that time there.
Yeah, because I left in 2018.
Right. So that's when, and then I came to you. I just came to the US and came to you in 2018. That's when you were in Athens. And then, yeah, we just continued from there. As I said, I do not recommend a long distance marriage for anybody. It's very hard. But this is not what we planned either.
Right.
We always planned that we'd have been in the same country. But where life took us, and we're like, we don't want to know anybody else. We want to we're here. This is it. This is us, and we found our person, so we're gonna make it work. So yeah. So that is how we met, and basically how we got married, and currently in a long distance relationship, marriage, and making it work.
Yeah. As best as we can.
and allowing the Lord to lead us in our marriage, because trust me, without that, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Allowing the Lord to lead us. So yeah. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment, and share. All right, bye.